What is the secret to liquidity pools, and why do they operate like pyramid schemes? Liquidity pool can be thought of as a pool that has the native coin in it to the blockchain that it's on. The contract holds the tokens, and in order to make those tokens value go up, you have to send native coin to the contract adjust. We'll use BNB in this example. You could be using ETH or Solana or whatever chain you're using. So you send your BNB into the liquidity pool, and then you get out the tokens. Let's say you send $100 worth of BNB into the liquidity pool, and now you got $100 worth of tokens. Let's say that those tokens come out to 10 at the time of buying. You just changed the ratio, which determines the price. In order to raise the price, more BNB has to be in the pool and less tokens come out. And in order to lower the price, people have to send their tokens back into the liquidity pool in order to get the BNB back. The problem is that this operates completely like a pyramid scheme. You get 10 tokens for $100. You bought right here. After you bought, you need a bunch of people to come and buy after you, sending value BNB into the LP in order to get tokens to raise the price. In order for you to see 100x, you have layers of people buying in underneath you all the way into that 100x. People having to pay a higher and higher price to get the same amount of tokens. So that your 10 tokens that you paid $100 for now become $10,000. But what that means is that now somebody has to pay $10,000 in order to get 10 tokens, in order to get the same amount of tokens. Where this becomes a problem is that projects are trying to build on top of the liquidity pool. You're trying to build a narrative or a story on top of a pyramid scheme. What this pyramid structure of the liquidity pool does is it gives all the power to the early buyers over the price. The people at the top control the price. They have the most ability to pull out the most value out of the liquidity pool and to bring down the price. People's goal in DeFi is to get you to believe in an idea or a story that you're going to make money. Otherwise, you wouldn't buy. And what that actually ends up doing is it ends up benefiting the people at the top because of the pyramid-like structure of the liquidity pool. Once the story grows so much because people are believing in it, then it only benefits the whales or the early buyers who, after they take their profit, recovery is very unlikely in 99% of projects. The future of the project is determined by the price, and all of that power is being given to the early buyers. Let's break down what the game of the liquidity pool is. Let's say that you bought early in a project and you put in $1,000 and it's done a 50x. You're now sitting on $50,000 and you need to decide whether you need to take profits or if you want to hold if it continues to grow. But let's say that you go to sleep and you wake up the next day and the chart has taken a massive dump. The problem is you missed your chance to sell and you lost the game of the liquidity pool, which is to get a bunch of people in after you to cause the price to go up and then sell before others do. Every project in DeFi is building a story that is bound to the game of the liquidity pool. So it's important to understand that it's your belief in an idea that's benefiting the people at the top. When it comes to every single cryptocurrency, most people's goal is to be the people at the top. It doesn't matter whether the idea is a meme token, political token, or a utility. And this idea, the belief in the idea, is causing you to buy into a pyramid structure that comes from the liquidity pool that benefits the people at the top. That's the reality of DeFi and crypto. What this does is every project is being built on a very bad foundation that's giving all the power over the future of the project, not to the team and the utilities they're making, but it gives it to the early buyers. The amount of buy pressure that it takes to counter their sell pressure is insane. And all of these people buying into this story, this idea, this narrative, thinking that they're going to make money is actually only going to benefit the people at the top most of the time. These are the losers, and these are the winners. There's nothing wrong with being an early buyer. You buy, your price goes up, you sell, you make money. Everyone is trying to be a red candle. That's the goal in DeFi. The more damage you do to a project, the better it is for yourself. And what that means is that a liquidity pool naturally incentivizes and rewards the death of the project. When you sell, you get all that value out of the liquidity pool, and everybody else is negatively impacted, and you win the game. Every other whale above you or near you who didn't sell, they lose. They should have sold. What that means is that the people that are destroying the project, causing it to die, are being rewarded for it, and the people that are holding and keeping it alive are being punished. You should have sold. You lost. Maybe next time you'll sell the top. And so how do we take control back and give it back to the people who deserve it the most, who are trying to keep a project alive and help it grow? We need to take it away from the bad actors and away from the top of the pyramid scheme in order to actually give down to the people below them in a way that counters the negative effects of the liquidity pool. So in a way that incentivizes and rewards not the death of the project, but the growth. The liquidity pool incentivizes, rewards the sellers, those who destroy the project after they leave. There's nothing positive left behind, and they take the whole project with them on the way out. How do you change and counter that in order to incentivize and reward the growth of the project in a way that keeps the project alive? So the liquidity pool is a wealth distribution mechanism. It takes in value and it sends out value. Tokenomics is another way to take in value and send out value using attacks. And so by using attacks, you're able to collect value, the value that people are seeking in the liquidity pool, the narrative, the price, the story. That's what people are chasing. It's interconnected to the liquidity pool. By using tokenomics and attacks, we're able to take that value, that narrative, that story, that price, and use it for something else. But we need to detach it from the liquidity pool by converting it to a stable coin. What does that do? It preserves the value, right? By preserving value, what is it that we're preserving? We're preserving story, narrative, sentiment, hype, belief, and it can't go down. So by taking attacks and collecting it on a buy and sell, you can collect value that you are distributing in a stable coin that's being preserved, and you can distribute it in a way that incentivizes growth instead of death. How do you do that? You give that to people that are keeping the project alive instead of to the people that are destroying it. By giving it to stakers, by delaying it, instead of giving it out immediately, you give it out over a long period of time in a bigger and bigger sense. You are rewarding the people that are keeping the project alive instead of rewarding the people who destroy the project. And in doing so, you're able to incentivize the growth of the project instead of the death of it. You're able to reward the people that help keep the project alive instead of the people that help destroy it. Anyways, guys, I'm sick of DeFi. I'm sick of bad actors, people stealing projects, and I can see why even good intended projects are trying to do well and they can't because they're building on a liquidity pool, which is why I've created Control Token to create something that balances wealth distribution, that incentivizes and rewards the growth of the project, and it does it in a way that weeds out bad actors and it attracts long-term holders. So we're in our pre-sale. Most pre-sales, I would say, never do pre-sales. They always dump. People always take advantage of it. Our pre-sale, whatever value you put in is what you're going to launch at. So you put in $1,000, well, you're going to have $1,000 at launch because we have a sell tax. If you sold, you'd be at a loss. What that means is that whatever we start at with the pre-sale, the only way to go up from there, unless people want to sell at a loss, is up. And so we have to move up, and that's an amazing pre-sale to have because most pre-sales are actually you buying into somebody else selling off on you using bots and then going to the next project. Pre-sales usually suck, but our pre-sales actually going to be good because we're actually setting a floor of value where if people sell, they'd be selling at a loss. And in order for the price to go down a lot, you'd have to sell a lot at a loss in order to negatively impact the price, which means that people are going to do what they want. They're going to try to make money, and that's going to move us upward because people are going to do that. The people that are coming in are going to be paying a buy and sell tax, which means they have to hold longer. They also have the rewards in the future of the project, and they're also believing in the story of what it is that we're telling, which is that the future rewards are going to fuel the growth of the project. It allows people to be more confident in a safer long-term project that doesn't only benefit the people at the top, it also benefits the stakers. It also benefits people that get in later. Even if you're a smaller bag, if you're staking, a lot of value is coming your way and everybody has the potential to take profits at different times. So Control Token is the only project I've ever seen to address the actual foundational problem of all of DeFi, which is the liquidity pool and how it gives all that power, all that control to those early buyers, and they are not incentivized or rewarded for keeping the project alive. They're incentivized and rewarded to destroy it, which is why projects cannot last. By balancing that, by incentivizing and rewarding the growth of the project, we can create a project that actually allows all of what most of DeFi is seeking to actually happen. And so I'm Crypto Control. If you guys have any questions, you want to message me, you can go to @CryptoControl3 on Twitter. Message me. I'll answer all your questions about Control Token. You can go to controltoken.net, be able to do the pre-sale. I've got 3 videos explaining it there. I honestly think that I have an amazing idea for crypto that's addressing the problems of why cryptos fail, and it's giving people a place to do what they want. You want to be part of something that grows long term, that distributes wealth more fairly to the people who deserve it, then this is what Control Token was made. It was made for the people of DeFi that are being abused by the bad actors and by the pyramid structure of liquidity pools that causes people to buy into narratives that only benefit the people at the top. Go to controltoken.net. I've got some really good videos explaining it over there.